Ginge. Ah.
So we're going to kick this off with the first track on side 2, if you've got it on vinyl, of 1991 Rage Against the Machine album, and this is called Know Your Enemy. What's quite unique about this one is Tom Morello was a master of getting all sorts of different sounds, non-guitar-esque sounds out of his guitar. And what he does for this is, the beauty of a Les Paul is you can turn either of the pickups off. What I like to do, and I do this live a lot, is I like to turn my neck pickup off so it acts as a kill switch when I'm switching between. So I can kill the sound whenever I want. Kill switch. See what I did? So, yeah, basically it's going. But obviously he's letting the kill switch act as a plec. So it's all hammers and pulls, essentially. Coming in at number 9 is a band that some of you may not know or have heard of, a band called Liquid Tension Experiment. It is actually Dream Theater with, at the time, a different bass player, the bass player from King Crimson, another one of my favourite bands. But yeah, this is called Kindred Spirits by Liquid Tension Experiment. What I like so much about this one is the use of a pedal tone, picking the open G. I mean, the notes do bleed in. Quite jarring, but you get the relief when you hit the G chord. And number 8 on my list is, this guitar just completely changed everybody's views on guitar playing. This is 1990's Steve Vai from Passion and Warfare album, and this is called Erotic Neighbors. What makes this one particularly tricky? What makes this one particularly tricky is the move from 3 to 2 on your E string. I'll slow it down for you. At number 7 we have the Manic Street Preachers. Massive influence for me. They actually saved me from just playing Oasis songs at the time. It was a step up in guitar level. The first 3 albums are proper classic rock albums, some punky stuff going on as well. But this one is a track off Gold Against the Soul, and it's called Sleep Flower. What makes this riff so good for me is it's mainly power chords. Really is just power chords sound so good, in my opinion. Next up we have a riff by a band called Megadeth. For me, Marty Friedman is one of the most unique guitarists, especially with the exotic scales that he uses for his solos, and his riffs aren't too bad either. So this is Tornado of Souls from the Rust in Peace album. What makes this riff great for me is the harmonics. I'm going 7th fret on my E, 7th fret on my D, 7th fret on my G. At number 5 on my list, I have Super Unknown by Soundgarden from the album Super Unknown as well. So a little side note about this, the tuning is not standard, it's kind of like it's kind of like an open G tuning. So what you do is you get your low E string tuned down to a D, so it's in drop D, and you also drop your A string down to a G as well. If you was doing open G, you would also tune your top E string down to a D as well, but we don't touch that one. So this is Super Unknown. I really like riffs that start off in like a higher key, and then when it kicks in, when the big boys come in, the drums and the bass, the riff goes lower, octave lower, couple of octaves lower, and it sounds massive. Another thing that really does it for me on this one is the really horrible jarring note at the beginning. Play it slowly. That. And what that is it's your open B bleeding against the 3rd fret on your G. Heavy. And number 4 is a song by Rush called Driven. This is actually in drop D, the song itself is in drop D, but for the first riff that I'm going to show you, you don't actually need to be in that tuning. It's all on the E string. You will notice a sneak rush into pretty much most decades because they are my favourites. Okay, so let's have it. This is Driven. On this one, you let the guitar do all the work really, because all I'm doing is that's all I'm doing, but I'm pulling off the open string, and every time I'm getting a double open. And single opens. Doesn't do that, but you can move it all over the fretboard. That as well makes it sound like you're doing a lot more than you actually are. So it's a cool little hack, that one. For number 3 on my list, I need to use this guitar because I do need a whammy bar. This is kind of locked in E flat, although the song is in standard tuning, but I'm going to play it for you on this guitar in E flat. This, when I very first heard this song, or should I say album, I hated it. And then I listened to it again and I realised the guy playing guitar is one of the greatest guitarists of all time, and his name is Petrucci. And this is the first track off the first Dream Theater album that I heard, and this is Pull Me Under. Two things I like about this is the first part, it uses a whammy bar, but it is really, really subtle. You know, it's not like a Steve Vai type thing. Another thing that I like again is this pedal tone G. The open G appears on most of the passes. G. Coming in at number 2 on my list is a very tough decision to not put this number 1. I never forget the first time I listened to this song on the I Stole My Dad's album. Sneaked it upstairs, listened to it, and I loved it that much I played the song again and then again and again. I think I played it about 5 times in a row, worn the CD out. But this is Alive by Pearl Jam. Epic solo in this. There's lots of things I could say about this. I'm not actually going to say anything at all about it other than listen to 10 by Pearl Jam, Pearl Jam's first album. It's yeah, it changed my outlook on guitar playing. Coming in at number 1 is a track by a band called Extreme. Released in 1990, the guitarist is Nuno Betancourt and the track is He-Man Woman Hater. This is my favourite guitar performance of the 90s. Any track off the album, I could have picked any riff really. But yeah, in at number 1 is He-Man Woman Hater. What makes this riff so difficult is just the amount of picking. You've got to pick every note in that intro. Let me slow it down for you and show you exactly what he's doing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's actually 9 notes there. Palm mute it and pick it very, very quickly. You nick that one from Pink Floyd, undoubtedly. Splendid. Thanks again, guys. My next video is going to be, rather than do riffs from the 90s, I'm just going to bunch it all together from the last 20 years. So I'm going to try and pick my top 10 riffs from 2000 to modern day. So watch out for that one. Subscribe, stay indoors, stay safe, and keep on rocking.